What's happening, guys? What's going on? Happy Monday and welcome to today's show. I'm absolutely over the moon. Arsenal winning 3-2 in the North London derby, Super Sunday, to put the pressure on City. Now, I just want to talk about this game. I was very confident going into the game. I predicted 4-0, and I did say in the previous video, that I thought we were going to win, and we did, and it was so comfortable. Now, I'm not going to give it the big one because I actually went to the gym while the game was going on because I had to go gym because it's one of those things I had to do, and I don't usually train on weekends, but I didn't train a couple of days during the week, so I had to make up for it. And I'm happy I went because these sort of games, they're so anxious, they're so stressful. So, but I was keeping an eye on it on my phone, and when it was 3-0, I thought, okay, cool, 4-5 in the second half. It'll just consolidate the win. But I just have to give a big up to Thomas Partey. I've been saying that when Partey is fit, that the gaffer is going to unleash that midfield, Partey, Rice and Odegaard, which is the strongest midfield trio that we can offer, and that's going to finish the season, and hopefully that's going to take us over the line. But Partey was fantastic. Rice always fantastic. I don't think Odegaard had his best game because he had to do a lot of defensive work, but some of the touches Partey was doing, he was a bit sloppy in the opening part of the game. Arsenal were a bit nervous, Spurs were on top of us, but some of the touches and the turning and just the cute little intricate passes through the lines, he's a fantastic player. And if he does go this summer, we have to replace. We will replace him. I'm a massive fan of Onana at Everton. Whether or not he balls out like Partey, I think he does. I think he does have the ability. But Partey is fantastic. Big up to Kai Havertz, my man of the match. Goal and assist, absolutely fantastic. 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. Absolutely amazing. Keep singing that song because he's been one of the signings of the season, and the gaffer Mikel Arteta has unlocked the Kai Havertz at Leverkusen. Phenomenal. But the way he passed that ball, the diagonal to Saka, beautiful vision, beautiful pass. The way Saka brought it down and just cut into his, amazing. And the header, simplest goal he's going to score this season. Spurs have been pathetic with scoring corners and defending them. Conte was big on corners and set pieces. He had a good set piece coach, and Spurs were effective from those areas. Not this season with Ange Postecoglou. And big up to Bukayo Saka. Phenomenal. This is what I've been calling out for. Big game players turning up in the big games, in the big moments, and doing it. Doing the thing. Saka was phenomenal yesterday. Always a threat. And listen, against the left back. He was playing left back for Spurs. Was it Davidson? Yeah, one of the old guard at left back. He was getting absolutely annihilated. The high line, to defend against Saka, you have to be a very good left back, or you need to double up on him because he's a fantastic player. He's a good player. But he was actually, after big him up, absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy he scored so many goals this season. He's getting assists and he's turning it on at the business end of the season. Saka, such character, such, the drive, fantastic. I'm over the moon. Tottenham played into Arsenal's hands. We sort of changed our tactics. We let Tottenham dominate the ball. Tottenham played into our hands. They had a lot of the ball, but they weren't very effective. And the high line, listen, absolute nonsense. You have to be pragmatic in all parts of life. But, in football, you have to be pragmatic. Conte might have found a way to beat us. Conte might have found a way to win that game with his pragmatism, with his tactical nous. And Conte is off. Listen, I'm going to get on to Ange Postecoglou shortly. Now, players like Van de Ven, not a fan. He's fast, but he's awful. And I said to my friends, actually, if my friends are watching this, I said before the game, as soon as I saw that Højbjerg was in midfield, I was like, yeah, that's it, we've won. He's just not a player. Listen, he's okay, he's got tidy, but in terms of his mobility, no. There's levels in everything, and he's not at the level to stop Arsenal, innit? Basuma and Sarr, maybe if they're on top of their game and they came and made a difference, but not Højbjerg. And he scored an own goal, and you know what I thought would happen. In terms of the second half, Spurs were spirited. They came back. It couldn't have got any worse. Raya playing out from the back, mistake. I'm not so, if it cost Arsenal, then there would have been a bit more eyes on that mistake, but it didn't. But goalkeepers playing out from the back, especially as good as he is, you're gonna make an error every now and again. Alisson makes errors when he tries. Neuer does. Ederson does, and Raya will make errors, and he will in the future. But you have to keep encouraging him to keep doing it. Onana, but you have to keep encouraging him to keep doing it, because he's starting attacks from the back, and he's very important to how we play, and he's a massive step up from Ramsdale. And also big up to Raya, because after the mistake, he was fantastic. He didn't make a mistake after that. He was dominant, and he got his head back on, and that shows fantastic character. Unfortunate penalty, Declan giving it away. Not much he could do there. He didn't see it. He didn't see the player, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. Michael Oliver surprisingly having a good game, calling it through the middle, which was surprising, and he had a good game. Not much to say about him. Some of the Spurs fans say, offside, and which was offside, and VAR decisions. Nah, the decisions were fantastic. There weren't no issues. There weren't no controversy. It was a good day for VAR, good day for refs, and a brilliant day for Arsenal and the fan base. Now, Postecoglou, I've said in earlier videos that I don't think he is. Listen, he's done all right. He's won titles. He's won in Scotland and where he was previously. But coming to the Premier League is different. Now, there's no way that anyone who knows football can tell me that he's better than Mourinho or Conte. Even the present day versions of them. Not a chance. They were good at they were good the first quarter of the season, but the high line thing and not wanting to change your tactics to suit your opponent is absolute nonsense. You have to change your tactics like we did to suit your opponent, and that's what the gaffer Mikel Arteta did. Just absolutely schooled Ange Postecoglou, and he ain't up for it. Spurs ain't gonna win anything with him. Spurs ain't gonna get top 4 with him, and don't know what Spurs do from here. They should have stuck with Conte. Everything Conte said in that legendary press conference about Spurs, the club, the players was true. They should have stuck with him. They should have invested in him, but they didn't. And it looks like Conte is going to get the Napoli job, which will be fantastic for them and him. But Postecoglou, it'll be interesting to see next season with the investment when he gets another season. 5th place isn't horrible. It's decent, Europa League, but I think that will hinder their domestic form next year, and they'll probably finish lower than 5th next year, 100%. A lot of my Spurs fans, I'll be getting on to them as they would have gotten to me, but I've been getting on to them. It's all banter, you know what I mean? As for the Premier League title race, City winning, and that game pissed me off because Nottingham Forest played well. Their striker, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, he missed a couple of clear-cut chances. But, they did play well. They actually had more attempts than City, more attempts on target. So that shows you there's a period where basically out of the last 4 games, they've got Wolves, and then they've got Fulham, and they've got Tottenham, West Ham. 3 London teams. Now, I don't think that City are going to win all those 4 of those games. I think they're gonna fall. And they've got Fulham and Tottenham in quick succession, both in London, so they're away from home City, and they got West Ham. Now, 6 games ago, we had a harder run in. Now we've got an easier run in the last 3 games for us and the last 4 games for City. That doesn't matter because Arsenal still have to do their job and they're showing professionalism. They're calm. They're not being too emotional. And I'm optimistic that we are going to win this Premier League title. I'm optimistic, but we just have to do all that we can and hope that what irony would it be if Spurs hold City or beat City and help us win the league? That would be absolute irony. So Spurs, do your job in it, and help us bring the Premier League title back to London. Want to have a quick chat about Liverpool. They drew 2-2 with West Ham. That spat with Salah and Jurgen Klopp. To be honest with you, Klopp has made a couple of weird selection decisions, but I don't think that you can argue with Jurgen Klopp. Listen, everyone can be criticised, but the body of work that Jurgen Klopp has done at Dortmund, at Liverpool, bringing them out of obscurity, he's one of the legendary managers of all time. He is one of the greatest managers of present day. Salah's a fantastic player, but listen, let's have it right. Before Liverpool, he weren't really doing things, was he? Like Chelsea, Mourinho got rid of him. Then he went Fiorentina and Roma, rebuilt his reputation, was smashing it out there. Then Jurgen Klopp gave him a chance, innit? Brought him in, one of the big signings, one of the first big signings by Jurgen, and they have done amazing things together. It's a shame that it looks like, it's probably over now. They're probably made up. But I just think that as a player, you have to respect the gaffer. You might not agree with everything the gaffer says, but you have to respect the gaffer, especially a gaffer like Jurgen Klopp. He seems to be a decent human being, and he knows what he's doing. Liverpool are not bottling it. They're just running out of steam, I think. And some of their attacking players have let them down. As good as they are, they have not been clinical enough. So it probably is squashed. They probably are going to crack on and it's all made up. I actually saw something, Liverpool put out a statement saying that there's a high possibility. They actually said that Salah's going to be staying at Liverpool next season. Therefore, it's interesting so I still think that Salah's got a lot to give in the Premier League and for Liverpool in the Champions League when a new manager comes. So it'll be interesting to know how they've come to that decision. I do think that it'd be too early for Salah to go outside Europe. Even if he does leave Liverpool, going to Saudi, he's going to get loads of money, but he should be playing in the Champions League, for years to come, a player of that quality. So from a football fan perspective, I'm glad that Salah is staying in the Premier League if he does stay. And, I think Jurgen Klopp deserves a bit more respect. He's done fantastic things in his career, in this country, in the Premier League. And I hope that him and Salah have resolved their little spat. So this is going to end today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. All that good stuff. Like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.